stripes. He's been ordered off twice in his first season at Tynecastle, both times against the men from Paisley. The new St Mirren signing, John Hewitt, isn't eligible for this cup tie, so manager David Hay restores Chick Charnley to the starting lineup. Otherwise, there are no changes from Saturday's winning team, with Les Fridge continuing in goal in place of the injured Campbell Money. The main threat to Hearts in attack will come from Icelandic international Gunni Torfason, who's been responsible for 5 of the 7 goals St Mirren have scored in the last 2 league games. And the referee, Mr George Smith from Edinburgh, the longest serving Grade 1 official in his 21st season in that capacity. So Hearts starting this match in a very different frame of mind perhaps to the one in which they've started so many games this season. St Mirren too have a change of approach. Really, things have changed dramatically in the last couple of weeks for these two sides. Hearts without a win in the last 4. 3 league defeats in a row and a draw against St Mirren in the cup tie 10 days ago. St Mirren, on the other hand, 2 good league victories in a row at Tannadice and then at home against Airdrie, with the draw against Hearts in between. So St Mirren here with renewed optimism, and Hearts with a point to prove. So the flag up, halting George Wright. Well, he's done very well, a 22-year-old in the Hearts midfield, keeping Gary Mackay out of the side. Only a strong man in the heart of that St Mirren defence. Former Falkirk player, Beattie's clearance. Levine using his international teammate, Dave McPherson. So he's a very important role tonight, McPherson, keeping things calm at the back for Hearts. Now Baird has really been in evidence in the match so far. Lambert again, trying to find McIntyre up the line. Captain of the Scotland under 21 side, Paul Lambert. Here's Charnley again, screening the ball from Levine. This is McDowell. Good effort there from McDowell. Steadying himself well for the shot. The first real glimpse of goal he's had. A striker by nature, but operating in midfield tonight for St Mirren. Space opened up there ahead of him, and that kept Henry Smith alert. Now Miller. Baird sending in the cross to Ian Ferguson. Back to Derek Ferguson. Consider the first time shot, I think. Now Levine. Aiken's clearance, helped on by Lambert. Encouragement now for the Hearts supporters. Sustained spell of attacking from their favourites. St Mirren now trying to break with Torfason. Picked up now by Miller. St Mirren operating with 10 men effectively for the moment. One player on the ground, that is Kenny McDowell, back in the wars. Broddle offered a path inside by Wright, so he takes it. Good running by Broddle. Well, he did well. He was shown the way inside by George Wright. He didn't want him to go up the line. He took full advantage here. He's on his weaker foot now for the shot, though. He's right. Still, he tried to steer that toward the corner. Torfason's had a quiet spell, but that layoff finds McDowell. Across goes McPherson. Well, he has performed well again tonight, McPherson. Not too creative, but solid defensively. This is Charnley. The pike killer finds McDowell. That was good play from St Mirren. A little bit of the unorthodox there from Chick Charnley, opening up the Hearts defence for McDowell. Well, encouraging play this. Charnley with his shadow Craig Levine. He knew exactly where McDowell was. Playing this across the 6-yard box, but no one in close enough for St Mirren. Turned quickly by McLaren. Kidney towards Ferguson. Good out swinging cross, well taken by Fridge. Ian Baird coming hurtling in. Well, remember, it was Baird who was involved with that challenge on Campbell Money, which put the goalkeeper out of the game in the first match and resulted in Baird being ordered off. There was Fridge making a good catch as Baird came in. McKinley, helped on by Miller. McKinley stopped well by McGowan. Ian Ferguson. There's McKinley. Stopped by McDowell. And brought down heavily by McDowell. I think that will be enough for the referee. And there's going to be a little bit of paperwork, I'm sure, from referee George Smith. It's taken 35 minutes for the first booking. And it is for Kenny McDowell. And it's the red card for McDowell. Now the reason for that, I'm sure, is the sarcastic applause after the foul is committed. Now if you see this again, you'll note that quite apart from the foul, Kenny McDowell then applauded the referee. That was ungentlemanly conduct, and I reckon the foul was worth the first booking, and the sarcastic applause was the ungentlemanly conduct resulting in the second. Broddle tried to judge the bounce there with George Wright. That was good play by Broddle and by Lambert. And he's certainly been the player to show little glimpses of style in the match so far. He's found Torfason. Inside it goes for Charnley. Torfason again, and still it will not go for St Mirren. Well, off the mark, hard and upright, 3 separate times. It was a great effort there by Torfason. But he set up the first chance after Paul Lambert's good creative work. Just look at the pass inside from Torfason to Charnley. His left foot found the post. Then Torfason tried to steer that beyond Henry Smith and came off the bar again. And Levine almost gave away an own goal. The referee ends a very ragged, untidy first half, reminiscent of the first match between the sides, which ended the goal was draw. But the controversial moment coming when Kenny McDowell committed that bad foul on Tosh McKinley, and then the applause towards the referee resulted in a red card being shown. That makes life very difficult for St Mirren, who were the closest to scoring in the first half when Charnley hit the post. Torfason hit the bar, and Craig Levine almost turned the ball into his own net. So at half-time, it's Hearts 0, St Mirren 0. The St Mirren manager, David Hay, would no doubt have welcomed that opportunity at the interval to try to reorganise his team for the second half, and perhaps, of course, for extra time. This match must be settled tonight. But the chance to regroup and reorganise and calm things down a little would have been welcome, I'm sure, because things were threatening on various occasions there to get out of hand, and someone really have to try to concentrate on playing football. They came closest in the first half to scoring a goal. You should remember that, I think, rather than retain that sense of injustice they felt losing McDowell. Good catch by Smith. That suggests he may well have recovered the shoulder injury he sustained in the first half. Ian Ferguson doing well with the back header. Here's Baird, shooting chances on, and a fine save there from Les Fridge. That's Hearts' best attack of the match so far, and Ian Baird certainly had that with tremendous power, looking to add to the 8 goals he scored this season. A free kick taken by McKinley. Into the far post, Fridge is committed, and it's scrambled away by his teammates in defence. Well, Fridge was at full stretch there. He made up his mind early to follow that ball. I think with hindsight he may regret this, but he was brave enough and committed enough. But as he collided there with Baird, it almost ran for Ferguson. Corner kick taken by McKinley, the in-swinger. And once again, headed over the top by John Robertson in the end. It was a fine corner kick to the near post. And St Mirren breathe again, having survived that. Otherwise, Fridge will be happy to see that little burst of activity end. Aiken organising the defence. And I wonder if St Mirren have decided that they may take their chances in a penalty shootout here and just shore up defence for the rest of the match. It's a very long time though to do that. 75 minutes they'll need to do that for. Here's Paul Lambert. Across it goes to Broddle, a chance on now for St Mirren. Well, he was allowed to go wide there. Broddle will be disappointed, I think, that he wasn't able to take that on the run first time. That shake of the head tells the story. He was released well by Lambert. Now the first touch here was vital. Broddle pushed the ball wide. Had he played that ahead of himself, he would have had a very clear shooting chance. So Charnley strolling over to take this corner kick, and that bears out perhaps my fear that St Mirren will be happy to retain this level position till the end. But here's Lambert. Didn't get a hold of that. Well, Paul Lambert has been the player who's shown the real touches of creative ability in midfield this evening. And this was a shooting chance. His control initially was good. That little touch on and the pressure from defenders made a miscue. Miller to McKinley. Baird looking for that through the middle. Back it goes to Ferguson. And it's a great save from Fridge. Ian Ferguson can't believe that. He took a knock in the act of shooting, but Les Fridge undoubtedly pulled off the save of the match so far. Well, it was good play between the two big heart strikers. Baird nodding it down. There was Ian Ferguson with a hook volley. A fingertip save by Fridge. Torferson with a back heeler for Broddle. Good change of pace by Broddle. He's quick enough, all right. Making for the byline. This is promising. Charnley was hoping to get to that, but Levine intercepted. Here's Paul McIntyre. Gets a second chance. Closed down by Miller. Charnley heavily tackled by Levine. And Charnley landed there on Levine. The studs made contact with Craig Levine when Charnley came down, and the referee George Smith, I think, is going to take some action here. Well, the players both staying on the ground. Perhaps they're hoping that the referee will not be tempted to take any action after a delay. There was Charnley. The lunging tackle there by Levine, and then the boot landing on the Hearts player. So, see that again. There was Levine going in heavily, and the landing from Charnley caused the problem for the Hearts defender. Now he's going to be booked for the initial tackle. Another card for Craig Levine. And the referee appears to be satisfied that any involvement from Charnley was totally accidental. Charnley's free kick. That's good play by Lambert. Looking for Charnley again. And some hopeful appeals for handball from the supporters behind Henry Smith. There's Hearts in the break though. Here's Miller. Now Robertson. Held up there by Aiken. The body check results in the free kick. Aiken returns the ball. Accurately enough for the referee. McKinley sending it in. Fast and beaten to that. Inside the penalty area by Aiken. Here's Charnley. Ferguson. Ian Ferguson trying the turn. Ferguson wide for Bannon, his first touch in the match. Levine lofting it forward. There's Derek Ferguson. Return by Miller. Derek Ferguson with a shot! Well, after that untidy bit of head tennis, Derek Ferguson coming very close indeed to giving Hearts the lead. Headed by Manley, then returned by Miller. Manley again, there was Derek Ferguson, that was close all right. George Wright looking for Ian Ferguson. Oh, Ferguson has done well, down he goes, and a penalty kick has been given. It was a clumsy challenge all right. Well, it really was a foolish one, that, from Manley, who is going to be booked. And will have to resist the temptation to say too much here. Well, it's a great chance now for Hearts. But a controversial moment, all right. The yellow card for Manley. Well, there was Manley with Ian Ferguson. Well, just inside the line, I reckon. A very tight decision. There it is again. Ferguson trying to get beyond Manley. Certainly was a foul, and I reckon it was just inside the line. A very tight decision for referee George Smith. Again, he's not having the easiest of matches by any means. Robertson against Bridge. 1-0 to Hearts. It's been a long time coming. We're midway through the second half, and the breakthrough at last for Hearts. It was an excellent penalty, this, from Robertson. Bridge guessed wrong. That was hit with power and accuracy. And for John Robertson, it is goal number 13 of the season. And it may well be the goal which takes Hearts through to the next round of the Tennent Scottish Cup. There's clearance there from McKinley. This will change the pattern of the game, I reckon. St Mirren cannot now sit back. They have to come forward. Lambert was fouled there by Miller. Thorperson and Charnley discussing the free kick. Well, it's a very ambitious attempt that by Jake Charnley. Not too many chances of beating a goalkeeper of the quality of Smith from that range. So, can St Mirren change the pattern of the play now? Push players forward. And I wonder if they may think about freshening things up a little. They have David Elliott and Thomas Dickrock on the bench. It's a good cross by Wright, the header by Robertson, and that may settle it. Striking at its best from Robertson. And what a fine move it was from Hearts. St Mirren still stung by that opening goal. Eamon Bannon's contribution was important. So was the run from George Wright, then the cross, and Robertson in there ahead of Fridge for the glancing header. Well, good play here from Hearts on the flank. George Wright's cross met at the near post by Robertson, and it was deadly finishing. So there's activity on the benches. Scott Crabb preparing to come on. There's also the possibility of two St Mirren substitutes coming on. There's Ian Ferguson. Hefty challenge there by BT. Charnley wins the ball back. And the referee will take action here against Jake Charnley. Well, Roy Aiken sensibly pulling Charnley away, but he's going to be in trouble here. Well, Charnley protesting he went to collect the ball, but the referee is not satisfied about that. And I wonder what colour of card is going to be shown here to Charnley. Ian Ferguson on the ground, a bit of stamping perhaps by Charnley. If that's the case, he may well follow Kenny McDowell into the dressing room. Well, there was a suggestion there of stamping by Charnley when he won the ball back. And that's the result, a red card for Charnley. And he'll get into more trouble if he continues that volley of verbal abuse towards the referee. Well, he's still mouthing away to the referee. And St Mirren reduced to 9 men. Let's have a look at this again. Here was Ian Ferguson. And the ball breaking there. There's Charnley, and there's the stamp on Ferguson. That's what upset the referee. So a red card for Chick Charnley. We see this again. Initial tackle there from Jim Beattie was a hefty one. Then, as Charnley came through, Ferguson went for the ball, and there was the reaction from Charnley, which resulted in the red card. So Stickrot on the right, Elliott in front there on the left. Roddy Manley, who had that knee injury late in the first half, goes off. So too does Paul McIntyre. It's the last throw of the dice for St Mirren. So Stickrot coming on to demonstrate his talent. Elliott, two attacking player. Bannon goes past McGowan, then past Lambert. Crowd to Robertson. The hat-trick for John Robertson. Rolling the ball through Leslie Bridge. Well, sheer joy now for the Hearts supporters. And Eamon Bannon's roll, and that build-up was significant. Coming inside, picking out Scott Crabbe. Now look at the pass, first time from Crabbe. Controlled, one touch from Robertson, a powerful shot, and it's 3-0 to Hearts. So there goes Bannon. Crabbe's pass was simply superb, and so was the finish from Robertson. And Hearts are safely through. The long, tough fight. David Hay is on the track, and he's indicating to the police officer in charge there that he need have no concern. There's going to be no scene there. St Mirren certainly appeared to harbour a sense of injustice for a long spell, and indeed referee George Smith has picked out another player to get into trouble, and indeed it's Thomas Stickrot who has been guilty of some speech play going off the field. Well, this just about sums up what has been a very nasty, untidy cup tie. Stickrot has been booked right at the end of the game for his speech play towards the referee, but as the Hearts players will wait until St Mirren leave the field to take the applause of their supporters. The damage was done by John Robertson, the first Hearts player this season to score a hat-trick. It was sparked off by the penalty kick, and then a couple of fine finishes thereafter. So Hearts go through safely enough in the end. A nasty taste left in the mouth by the ordering off of Kenny McDowell in the first half and Chick Charnley in the second. It's Hearts 3, St Mirren 0.
Yeah, it's a tough and tousy and at times, it has to be said, quite nasty cup tie. We'll take a look at some of the more controversial incidents in a moment, but let's hear firstly from the Hearts hat-trick hero, John Robertson. He spoke after the match to Hazel Irvine.
Wasn't certain that you'd play at all this evening. It's certainly been worth your while, and there's a record broken, a long time since you scored a hat-trick. Yeah, it's been quite a few years. I don't know how many, but yeah, it's great to get on the score sheet again, especially here at Tynecastle. It wasn't a terrifically silky soccer match, shall we say. The first half particularly, of how much concern was your form and that of the team at that time? Yeah, it was a typical Scottish Cup tie. It carried on basically from where it left off at Paisley. There was no great football play. It was just a hard, I think the ball took a bit of battering, to be truthful. But the manager said to us to keep playing away, keep getting the ball wide, and hopefully keep getting them in, and eventually breaks would come. And fortunately for us, they did. How much pressure were you feeling when you stepped up to take the penalty in the second half then? I don't feel any real pressure taking penalties. I mean, that's part and parcel of the game, and I'm quite confident in taking them. And really, there was a bit of ballyhoo going on up to it, but by that time I just concentrated on the job in mind and got on with it and hammered it in. And the second goal, quite a contribution from Eamon Bannon and George Wright as well. Yeah, Eamon come on and really changed the game. He's great at getting to the dead ball line and getting balls in. And he started a wee even move, cut to George, and he put in a great ball, one that the goalkeepers aren't very sure whether to come or not. And I just managed to get in front of Les Fridge. And the third, I'm sure you'd be proud of. Yeah, I hit it quite well. I thought at first when I hit it was a bit close to the keeper, but fortunately for me, it had a wee bit too much power from it. It was just good to go on. It was a great relief to see it hit the back of the net.